There's a strange moment in Nietzsche's writing where a wise man does something no wise man is supposed to do. He tells the people who admire him most to leave. Not because he's angry. Not because they failed him. But because they succeeded too well at trusting him, and that, to him, was the real failure. Let's sit with that for a second, through a short story. An old locksmith took on an apprentice. For the first year, the boy questioned everything. Why this pin, why that tension, why not another way? The old man loved it. Their workshop was loud with argument. By the third year, the boy stopped asking. He simply copied. Whatever the old man did with his hands, the boy repeated, perfectly. One evening, the old man set down his tools and said, "Tomorrow, you're leaving." The boy was stunned. "Did I do something wrong?" "You stopped picking locks," the old man said, "and started picking me." "I don't understand." "I do everything you do." "Exactly. When a lock resists you now, you don't study the lock, you ask what I would do. You've stopped seeing the mechanism in front of you. You only see my hands. That's not skill. That's memory of skill, borrowed from someone else. But your way works. My way works for me, on the locks I've met, with the hands I have. The moment you meet a lock I've never seen, you'll be helpless, because you never learned to think, only to imitate. The boy sat with this a long while. So what should I have done? Disagreed with me more. Broken a few picks trying your own angle. Been wrong in your own way, instead of right in mine. A student who never fails on his own account never learns where his own limits are, only mine. This is close to what Nietzsche was getting at with Zarathustra. A teacher who is truly generous doesn't want disciples forever. Disciples are people who have outsourced their judgment. They've traded the difficult, error-prone work of forming their own understanding for the comfort of simply agreeing. And comfort is exactly the danger. Nietzsche wrote to his sister that if you want peace of mind, believe, but if you want truth, you have to question. Belief is restful. Inquiry is not. Inquiry means living with uncertainty, testing ideas against reality yourself, and sometimes discovering that the person you admired most was wrong about something. That's uncomfortable. It's much easier to let someone else hold the map. But here's the catch, a map is not the territory. Someone else's conclusions are a record of their path, shaped by their mistakes, their blind spots, their moment in time. If you adopt that map wholesale, you inherit their blind spots too, and worse, you lose the ability to notice when the terrain has shifted, because you never learned to read it yourself. This isn't just about gurus and disciples. It shows up anywhere we let someone else do our thinking, a mentor whose opinions we stop examining, an ideology we stop questioning, even a habit of assuming an expert is right just because they sound confident. The alternative Nietzsche points to isn't rejecting every teacher or refusing all guidance. It's something more demanding: take what you're given, test it against your own experience, keep what survives the test, and be willing to walk in a different direction when it doesn't. Two people who've each built their own understanding can meet as equals and compare notes. Two people where one just absorbs the other can't, one of them has stopped being a full participant in the search for truth. So the real question Nietzsche leaves us with isn't, who should I follow? It's, have I checked this against reality myself, or am I just repeating someone else's map? That's the paradox at the heart of Zarathustra's farewell: the best teachers aren't the ones who keep you close. They're the ones who make themselves unnecessary. Thanks for watching, and if this kind of thinking speaks to you, you're in the right place. This has been Neurovexis Studio.